now from the IBA at Winchester, engineering announcements for the radio and television trade.
Good morning. Welcome to this week's Bulletin of Engineering Announcements from the IBA. Today, VHF frequency changes for some independent local radio transmitters. When will they occur? In transmitter news, interruptions to the MF services of Capital Radio and LBC in the London area. More existing relays are equipped for the 4th channel. And there's information about new relays at Funari in the west of Scotland, Norwich Central in the east of England, and Bow Street and Kevin Maher in Wales.
Last month we discussed the frequency changes which will affect a number of our VHF independent local radio transmitters following the agreement which was made last year at Geneva. The Geneva Plan 1984 will mean that all the ILR and BBC local radio services will be in two specific subbands, 94.6 to 97.6 MHz and 102 to 104.9 MHz. The changes, which are spread over the next few years, start this month.
The first change is at Pennine Radio, where the frequency for the Huddersfield and Halifax area will change from 103.4 to 102.5 MHz. The new frequency will be in use shortly. In the Reigate and Crawley area, Radio Mercury's frequency will change from 103.6 to 102.7 MHz. This change is expected to take place on Tuesday the 22nd of October.
On Friday the 1st of November, there will be 3 more frequency changes. At Bury St Edmunds, Saxon Radio's frequency will change from 96.3 to 96.4 MHz, a change of just 100 kHz. Essex Radio will have 2 frequency changes. At Southend there's a move from 95.3 to 96.3 MHz. And at Chelmsford there will be a large change from 96.4 to 102.6 MHz.
And the last changes of this first batch will be on Wednesday the 6th of November, when 3 of Invicta Radio's frequencies will be changed. In the Maidstone and Medway area there will be a move from 103.8 to 103.1 MHz. At Ashford there will be a small change from 96.3 to 96.1 MHz, hardly noticeable on the average radio. But at Canterbury there will be a large change of frequency, with a move from 95.1 to 102.8 MHz. Details of all these changes are on Oracle Teletext, page 590, on Channel 4 and S4C.
Some of these frequency changes will require a move to an entirely different part of Band 2, above 100 MHz. And some listeners may find that the quality of their stereo reception has deteriorated. This could be due to the aerial, because in the past some VHF aerials did not cover the whole of Band 2 and were only satisfactory from 88 to 100 MHz. In these cases it would be necessary to change to a new aerial which will cover the whole of Band 2 from 88 to 108 MHz and be suitable for future services when they arrive.
Transmitter news next, starting with special announcements. Following on from the fire which interrupted the MF services of independent local radio in the London area on the 1st and 2nd of July, it is now necessary to carry out further work at the transmitter site at Saffron Green. This means a complete shutdown of the MF services of both Capital Radio and LBC from midnight until 5:30 AM on Sunday the 8th of September. And from the 8th to the 18th of September there will be reduced power and occasional interruptions. It is planned that the interruptions, which will be for up to 30 minutes, will take place between midnight and 6 AM on the days that they are necessary. During these periods, listeners should use the VHF service, that's Capital Radio on 95.8 MHz and LBC on 97.3 MHz. And the auxiliary data tests on LBC's VHF service have been extended until Friday.
The weather-dependent aerial maintenance at Pontock Pike in the northeast of England is almost complete, but reduced power is expected to continue until the end of the week. At Cirencester, there's mast maintenance and all services are expected to be off until 9:15 a.m. tomorrow and Thursday. And on the Isle of Wight, the Ventnor relay is expected to be off until midday every morning until Friday for aerial maintenance.
There's more essential mast maintenance in South Wales, where the Pontardawe, Treharris and Abercynon relays are also expected to be off until midday today, tomorrow and Thursday. In the West Country at Exeter, the St Thomas relay is expected to be off until 9:15 a.m. tomorrow and Thursday for mast painting. And another reminder that mast and aerial maintenance is weather dependent and is sometimes rescheduled because of poor conditions. On Friday in the Grampian area, the Crieff relay will be off from 10 a.m. until 4 p.m. for electricity board maintenance.
New relays next, and in North Wales there's another delay at Cefn Mawr. The relay, which should have been on the air last week, is now expected towards the end of next week.
But in Scotland, Funari is now on the air. The relay is designed to cover just over 300 people on the island of Mull in and around Sarlen, although the relay itself is on the northern side of the Sound of Mull. Scottish Television and TV AM are on Channel 43 and Channel 4 on 50. The aerial group is B and the polarisation vertical. That's Funari, now on the air and due in full service this Friday.
Now expected towards the end of next week, the relay for Norwich Central. This is to serve about 2,900 people in the central areas of Norwich who aren't covered by Tackleston. The relay is north of the city centre at the former pickup point for a disused cable system. Anglia Television and TV AM will be on Channel 49 with Channel 4 on 42. The aerial group is B and the polarisation vertical. That's Norwich Central, hoped to be ready towards the end of next week.
Also expected towards the end of next week, the Bow Street relay near Aberystwyth. It will serve about 625 people in an area between Bow Street and Clarach Bay, including Llangorwen. The relay is sited just southeast of Bow Street. HTV Wales and TV AM will be on Channel 41 with S4C on Channel 47. The aerial group is B, vertically polarised. That's Bow Street, due on air towards the end of next week.
Channel 4 next, and conversion work at existing relays. Now on the air, in Scotland, South Knapdale on Channel 53, and one of its dependents, Gear Island, on Channel 47. Together they increased Channel 4 coverage by about 3,700 people. And in North Yorkshire, Hayshaw on Channel 53 is also on the air, increasing Channel 4 coverage by another 2,500.
Expected on air later this week, in Lancashire, Whitewell on Channel 67, in Kent, Dover Town on Channel 30, in East Sussex, Forest Row on Channel 66, and in the west of England, Ubley on Channel 31 and Burrington on Channel 65. Hope to be on the air in a couple of weeks, near Plymouth, Plympton on Channel 54, in Greater Manchester, Dog Hill on Channel 53, and near my Steg in Mid Glamorgan, S4C on the Abergwynfi relay on Channel 31.
Well, that's all for this week. If you have any technical queries on independent local radio or independent television, do contact us. Our address, Engineering Information Service, Independent Broadcasting Authority, Crawley Court, Winchester, Hampshire, SO21 2QA. Our telephone number is Winchester, that's STD code 0962 822444. If it's cheaper, use our London number, that's 01 584 7011, and ask to be put through to Engineering Information. Or join us again next Tuesday at 9:15 only. There's no 12:15 bulletin today or next week due to programme commitments. So from John Lovell and myself, Janet Smythe, goodbye from Crawley Court.